Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. My name is Nancy Rose, and I'm an energy wellness life coach. Today, I want to talk a little bit about how our thought energy interacts with others and how that has an effect on our life. Earlier this week, I asked a question about the word thank you, and if you understand that it has this sort of a spell or a magic to it. Almost always, without necessarily saying it or not, when one says thank you, the response of you're welcome is sort of implied. It is just sort of expected. When you do the transaction of thank you, when you're thanking someone for whatever it is, you are inevitably, ultimately, also coincidingly saying more of this, please. And the opportunity to do this more. So a lot of times I talk with people who are trying to heal from like codependency, people pleasing. One of the questions that I think it's helpful to ask ourselves is, what are we getting when we're in this people pleasing mode? Like, what is it that we're looking for? Is it the acknowledgement? Is it, being needed or being helpful? Like, is it the praise that you get? What is it that you're actually looking for? And begin giving this to yourself in different ways. Sometimes it is just, the praise and, the acknowledgement. For me, it's just somebody seeing what I'm doing and it matters. So I give that to myself. I tell myself, you're doing really good. This is really good. I'm also a parent. So a lot of this work is a sort of unlearning, relearning, or reparenting as I am also parenting, which always makes things a little bit more interesting. But it does give me like real time evidence and feedback. My little ones are always watching. And I was thinking the other morning doing yoga, when they asked me how I had slept, I knew that morning I hadn't slept that great. But I really appreciated that we take time to ask each other those questions. And I know that we do that because I've been modeling that for us for a long time. The same way that I take time to take care of myself and do yoga. All the things that I do, they're watching, and it makes a difference. The other day I put a Christmas tree up, and my little ones came home from their dad's, and they wrote their Christmas list and put it under the tree. Had I not put up the tree, they wouldn't have been inspired to write their list or put under there. We have this ripple on each other all the time. And so when we're doing things in a people-pleasing way and sealing it with the thank you, we're calling more of that in. If you're living in loops where you feel like you're constantly doing or not being fulfilled, it's maybe time to look at what and why you're doing them and maybe revisit some of that. Maybe there are ways that you can get this interaction without feeling the loss, and maybe sometimes it's just a way of letting ourselves feel better about what's actually happening, giving ourselves a different moment to look at it a different way and appreciate it for what it is, if at all. Sometimes the awareness is that it's time to move on. But, anyway, whenever we're saying thank you to someone, also know that we're also inviting more of that into our experience. And that the thing is that's a little dangerous about being a people pleaser who loves when other people say thank you is that what happens when there's no one there to say thank you to you? What happens when there's no one there to pull it off, and to say good job? Or what happens if there's no one there that's happy with you? It sort of starts to feel like no one is saying it. No one is saying it because they're not there and not saying it. When I was really young, I guess like 20-ish, 21, 22, somewhere like that, I had a short-term gig where I stayed the night at this older lady's house, and I helped her in the morning get ready for her day and drink her tea and have breakfast. And at night I'd help her get, cleaned up and in bed and all that good stuff. And I really loved how she liked her things just so. Like, this cup goes here, this goes here, this goes here. For me, it was easy to know that, pay attention, and to get it right. That feedback, that praise of making someone difficult happy was really good for me. Even when I went into the medical field, my first doctor that I really clicked with was like a known complicated doctor. You know, her MAs would always quit because they just were too overwhelmed by her. And I loved her. Like, it felt, I felt, I was totally happy with our arrangement. But I also really liked being able to satisfy someone that's a little complicated. I liked being able to do it in a way that I like to do something hard and get it right, you know? But that also means that if no one is there for me to do that, I'm not right about anything. It also means that I'm calling in people that are complicated. It also means that I'm calling in people that are very rigid, and if I get it wrong, they aren't going to be praising, you know, and of course, but you know, they might not even be very nice at all. It's very interesting what happens in our energy when we are a certain way in our thinking, thought, mind, you know, and in our exchanges with others. And until you sit and let yourself sort of decipher and move through all the parts and see what's really going on, it just feels sort of like a cluster, you know? I wrote down a little note that I thought it was, when I wrote it down, I was thinking it would be helpful to mention. Was another question I had. If people could see your thoughts, if people could hear your thoughts, would you change them? Would you be comfortable with that? Oh, I can't get enough. You know the Elmira doll where I just want to eat you and love you. And that's what I want to do too. I just love her. Well, the thing is, people can't see your thoughts and they can't hear them, but they can feel it vibrationally. You know, no matter how well you disguise what you're feeling by what you say, the truth ultimately will be known without, you know. So it's sort of a really wonderful thing to get into a place where you're able to be honest with yourself and have that sort of inner and outer integrity so that you can be in sync. You know, it really doesn't feel good when you feel like you've let yourself down. You know, so it is helpful to give yourself chances to not let yourself down and to be there and to praise yourself and to encourage yourself, you know, and to remind yourself that you're doing a good job, because truly we all want that. Our inner child self, our shadow self, our ego self, these sharp skittles. We all want to know we're doing a good job. We all want to be okay. We all want to be loved and appreciated and valued. We want to be important, you know? And sometimes we find ourselves in a way that we haven't been feeling that. Maybe others have been sort of taking that away from us or not giving it to us, or the imbalance feels like it's not just our own. But harmony can be restored through you. You do not need somebody else to make you have alignment, to help you get to the peace, to help you get to the ease, to help you purr. Here. So that was what I wanted to share today. My Remembering Me container is available for 3 women. We're going to work until the February full moon. This will take you into the layers of self-love and help you find real self-love for yourself. This will help you understand yourself as an energetic body, as an energetic being. It will help you learn how to move through your thoughts and change your mind, regulate your nervous system. This is perfect for somebody that's wanting to take a break, maybe practice sober like sober living or like a sober month. It's wonderful for someone that's planning to do sort of like a weight loss or resolution for the new year. By working now until February, you'll be easily in place to take care of your resolution. And if you're interested in body manifesting, we can work on that too. And then if you're somebody that's already been taking care of yourself and exploring your inner world, this would just also be so good for you. There's no limits ever to what we do inside of your container. Your work, your learnings will be specific to you and what's active, what you're calling out for now. But there aren't things, if I've ever taught about it, it's available to you inside of your learning space when we work one-on-one. This is available for 3 people, and I am really looking forward to seeing who takes advantage of this. So message me right away so you do not miss out. And have a great rest of your Saturday.